As the ruling National Resistance Movement prepares for its party primaries tomorrow, the elections will once again be conducted using the old-fashioned method of lining up behind candidates, a system that was adopted by the party's Central Executive Committee meeting at State House in July 2020. The idea was strongly backed by the party's national chairman, President Yoweri Museveni, who argued that the lining up system would address many of the challenges previously associated with the secret ballot. According to President Museveni, the secret ballot had proved both expensive and susceptible to manipulation. He noted that the open voting method, where voters physically line up behind their preferred candidates, was more transparent. With everyone able to witness the vote counting process, it reduced the chances of disputes and accusations of vote rigging. Museveni also referred to the chaotic and violent 2016 NRM primaries as a learning moment that led to this shift in approach. The party's top leadership further explained that the new method would reduce logistical burdens such as delays in producing and transporting ballot materials. It was also seen as a way to eliminate incidents of election officials tampering with results and the recurring problem of ghost polling stations. This proposal was formally approved later in 2020 by the NRM Delegates Conference held at Nambole Stadium, and it was first implemented during that year's party primaries. While it was a notable shift in the party's electoral process, the new system did not entirely eliminate problems. Allegations of electoral malpractice, voter bribery, and violence still emerged during the 2020 primaries. At the local level, the system stirs acrimony within communities since it is easy to know how everyone voted. Now, as the party heads into another round of internal elections, the lining up method remains in use. To ensure smoother execution, the NRM has issued strict guidelines for voters and candidates alike. One major directive is the mandatory use of the updated voters register. Only those listed will be allowed to vote. Village assembly meetings are scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. and conclude by noon. Voting, which involves lining up behind candidates, is set to commence at exactly 12 p.m. and end by 2 p.m. This timeline is intended to prevent voters from migrating between polling stations and to maintain the integrity of the process. However, the lead-up to tomorrow's election has not been without controversy. Weeks of joint campaign activities across the country have seen rising tensions with reports of voter intimidation, violence, and alleged malpractice. In several districts, rival supporters have clashed, leading to injuries, property damage, and police interventions, including arrests. Despite these challenges, the NRM is pushing forward with its primaries under this system, banking on its promise of greater transparency and reduced electoral fraud. David Ijo, NTV.